Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Monday, guys. Happy Monday to each and every one of you. First and foremost, let me just say to each and every one of you how I'm so happy to be back. It feels like I've been gone forever, but it's always a beautiful thing to come back and see each and every one of you here. Hope you all had an awesome weekend. And for those of you that are here, make sure you hit the like button for your girl. Share out the live. Tap the emojis to the right. We're never here for a long time, but we're going to make the best of the time that we do have here. Tonight is no different than any other night that we open up this live stream. These stories don't get easier, but they're worth talking about. And we're not here for gossip. We're not here for entertainment. We're here spreading awareness, hoping to save lives, hoping to encourage someone to find a different route. We're here to uplift, encourage. And I appreciate each and every one of you all that ride for the same mission and for the same cause. And before we get started, tonight we're going to be speaking about a young lady, only 21 years old, out of Georgia. Her name is Elajia Whitley. And it's not easy coming out here and having to say, rest in peace, beautiful one. And the most horrific thing is they're getting younger and younger and younger. And something has to be said, something has to be done in order for us to put a stop to this. And the only way we could put a stop to such a thing is if we educate, we share. And tonight is no different. We're going to do just that. And before we get into doing what we do, I'm going to do what I do. And that's to welcome each and every one of you here individually. My beautiful sister Kristen, I see you, my love. Happy Monday to you. Sassy, I see you, beautiful. Dolores, welcome. April Webster, I see you. My beautiful sister Dr. J is in here. And look at my sister living life in Florida. I see you, sis. Welcome, you guys. Taisha, welcome, sister. Welcome. My beautiful sister Deidre, I see you, my love. Thanks for pulling up. Sean B, hey, sis. Welcome. Happy Monday to you, sis. Happy Monday. Kimberly Earls, I see you, my love. My little sister, Big JJ, not the little one. I see you, my love. Sherry, welcome. Love all and trust none. I believe in that with all my heart and soul. Leisure lady, welcome, my love. Charlotte Stewart, happy Monday. Ann, hey, beautiful. Welcome, happy Monday. Mariah, I see you, boo. Happy Monday. Hey, PJ, welcome, boo. Hey, Essie, I see you, beautiful soul. Welcome, my love. My beautiful sister, Terrific. I see you, sis. Welcome. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. And guys, we're here, as I've always said, and it's messages to be spread, awareness that needs to be spread. And we're here to get the message out. We're here to spread awareness. Miss Antoinette, hey, lovely. I see you, baby. Welcome to the chat, boo. Happy Monday to you. And we're here to shine a little light, bring a little awareness to these situations, because these stories must be told. Must be told. My beautiful sister Rock has hit the building. Hey, sis, welcome. Welcome. These stories must be told. And tonight, like I said, we're not here for no other reason other than to bring justice and awareness to these situations. The messy part, nah, we don't do that here. We don't do that here. Keep it cute. We keep it respectable. And we honor the names of these victims. Because it's them today, and it could be us tomorrow. And we don't ever, I don't wish that on no one, to sit in the seats of these parents And tonight, before we unpack the details, we pause for a second just to honor this young lady whose life we're here to speak about. Her name is Elajia Whitley, only 21 years old. Elajia was a daughter. She was a sister. She was a dreamer who was working 2 jobs and saving for her future. 21-year-old Elajia, she earned her phlebotomy certificate and had just enrolled in surgical tech classes. This young lady was building a new chapter in her life until the person she tried to escape found her outside of her workplace. Carla Henry, welcome, my love. Elajia's story isn't just tragedy, y'all. It's also a testimony. Because through her, we see the warning signs. We hear the cries for help and the silence that too many of our sisters continue to live in. So tonight, as we walk through her life, we're going to do it with reverence. We don't say the victim. Here we say her name, and that is Elajia Whitley. Tonight we're going to honor her spirit. We're also going to honor her fight and her right to be remembered, not for how she died, but most importantly, for how she lived. And I don't know how many of you know or don't know the story of beautiful 21-year-old Elajia Whitley. But tonight we're going to go through this timeline. Before we dive into the heartbreak of what happened, I want y'all to see exactly who she was. 21 years old, full of laughter and light. Her stepfather said she always resonated light, and that light came straight from her heart. Her brother said she was always smiling and being silly. Sunshine, I see you, love, welcome. Her brother said she enjoyed life. He said you could feel her energy before she even spoke. And like I said previously, Elajia was working 2 jobs. Not one at 21 years old. This young lady had 2 jobs and still chasing her dreams. Already having her phlebotomy certificate, this young lady had already enrolled in classes to become that surgical tech. Every part of this young lady's story said she was going upward. Every part of her story said that. She was rising to the top. This young lady was setting herself up for stability, for independence, for peace. She worked at BioLife Plasma Center over on Pleasant Hill Road in Duluth, Georgia. Her co-worker said she brought joy to that building. And now a small memorial of flowers sit outside those doors where she used to clock in. Even her job released a statement saying how deeply saddened they were and they supported her family. That's how much Elajia touched people's lives. But behind that laughter, Behind that busy schedule, there was a pain that she was trying to escape. Her family said she'd taken out a protective order against her partner, the very person they believed took her life. Her aunt said it best. He didn't see the beauty in her. Didn't see the love that her family surrounded her with. Because if he did, he was jealous of that. That's what we mean when we talk about control. When love turns into possession and possession turns into danger. So tonight we say her name, Elajia Whitley. And I wish I could just stop right there with the laughter, the goals, the light. But what happened next is the reality that too many of our sisters face when they try to walk away. We're going to talk about the relationship, the red flags, and the system that was supposed to protect her but didn't. And now we deal with the awareness part that we have to turn into actions. Elajia was the type of soul that just walked in a room and lifts it up. And I want us to pause and think about that. How many of our young women carry joy and pain in the same body? They laugh so loud so nobody hears them quietly crying. This poor baby was out here grinding 2 jobs. And that's the part that gets me every time. Because when a woman starts standing on her own, that's when some men start trembling in their insecurities. And I know many of us may have seen that shift when your glow makes somebody love turn cold. That baby was doing everything right. Everything right. Leaving, protecting herself, focusing on her goals, and yet she was failed. And that's why we're here. Elajia, hey, pretty wings, welcome, my love. We're here because Elajia's story deserves more than a headline. It deserves this conversation. It deserves awareness, and more so, it deserves accountability. It deserves accountability. Behind that smile Elajia wore was a relationship that had already shown her who it was. One filled with jealousy. Welcome to the chat, Big Mama. One filled with jealousy, filled with control and manipulation. Manipulation, y'all, is a dangerous thing. It happens to the best of us. And because we're not built like that, because we're not used to the games that people play, sometimes we could get caught up in manipulation and not knowing we're being manipulated because our hearts are not theirs. We're not cut from the same cloth, and we don't shade. We don't try to hurt people. That baby's family said they knew she was in a tough relationship. They said they tried to support her. But like so many victims, Elajia wanted to believe in change, to believe that love could fix what fear had already broken. And that's where we get it all wrong. You can't fix a grown person. Hey, Michelle, welcome, baby. You can't fix a grown person. Their demons are already there. They've been programmed for years to live in that confusion. And they take those bad behaviors. They take that manipulation. They take all of these undermining skills that they've learned along the way and they project it on somebody else. Sometimes we put ourselves in situations where we want love so much outside of the love that we already get from our families. We want love so much to where we turn a blind eye to the dangers that's right there. And what hurts me to sit here and as I went through this story to know that her family, they said that they knew she was in a tough relationship. You know, at 21 years old, we were all there at one point in time. At 21 years old, we wanted to do what we wanted to do. And although her family may have seen all the red flags and all the dangers, I'm sure they told her about it. But she was blinded by love. She was blinded by manipulation. And let me tell you, manipulation is powerful. Love is powerful. It makes you turn against the best of them. It's like you're in a cult. You're being controlled from every angle. And that's not a way for nobody to live. And I know many of us have been there before. You keep hoping that next time will be different. You accept the apologies that come with the same package of pain. Sit there and you convince yourself. You convince yourself. He didn't mean it this time. He's going to change. He's not going to do it again. Now that's what you're sitting there trying to convince yourself, but yet your spirit is whispering, I know he will. I know he will. The red flags. The red flags. They were all there. They were all there. The isolation. Where he starts making her feel like her family is the enemy. And I know some of you may have experienced that. Maybe some of you have not. But there are people out here in this world that gets that close to you, make you believe that you're everything. And they make you feel that they love you more than your family could ever. That was the isolation. Then there was the control. He got to the point to where checking her phone, wanting to know where she was and feeling the temperature of her tone. Evelyn Gentry, welcome, my love. He wants to check the temperature of her tone. We've all been there, I'm pretty sure. That's not love. That's not love. Then there was the jealousy. He wasn't jealous of other men. A definite red flag. And I have to be honest, because most men are not jealous of other men. Hey, my beautiful niece. Welcome, boo. Evelyn Gentry, thank you so very much for that super sticker, boo. Most men, y'all, they're not jealous of other men. And that's a fact. They're jealous of who you are. That's number one. They're jealous of where you come from. That's number two. They're jealous of your ambition. And they're more so jealous of the family relationship that you have, because everything that they're jealous of is everything that they are not and have never had in life. Look at my beautiful sister Marty. Welcome, my love. Everything that they've never had. And they're jealous of that. So when you find a man, when you find not just a man, a person in particular, any damn body that calls themselves your friend, and they show these signs, they don't want what's best for you. They want everything that you can offer, possibly. Because the life that you live, the light that shines when you step into a room or just open your mouth, you possess something that they've never in their life. Thank you, sis Sean B. And you're absolutely right, sister. We've all been there. All of us. And people knows how to dim your light. People knows how to dim your light. Jealousy is dangerous. And they don't stop scratching until they get you just where they want you. No matter what dangers comes along with it. And this baby's aunt said it best. Elajia's aunt said it best when she said he didn't see the beauty in her. He didn't see the love that her family surrounded her with. Rosalind, welcome, my love. See, that's the thing about abusers. They feed off of what they can't become. They want to absorb your light because they don't know how to create their own. Ladies and gentlemen, this ain't just in woman and man relationships. This is in friendships. No nonsense. Hey, my love, welcome. Happy Monday to you. This is in relationships. This is in so say friendships. People that think they're bullshit you, telling you, oh, we're cool, we're sisters. No. You fall for it. Because again, like I said, manipulation is a dangerous trait. And those of us that don't know nothing about manipulation, because we're not built on that, we walk into it blindly. And because we walk into it blindly, it hurts everything around us because our spirits don't align. And the devil did what the devil came to do each and every time, and that's to kill, steal, and destroy. And we have to be real. This ain't just about this one man. It's a whole cycle that this community, our community, has been ignoring for generations. People are not who people pretend to be. We have to understand that people get close to us and people come under us to get where we are and to get what we got. And once they get what we got, you are worthless. They're called users. They're called manipulators. I'm speaking about this young lady, Elajia. but I'm also speaking from experience right here in these YouTube streets. But God is a good God. He knows all and he sees all. And this too, Mocha, shall pass. This too shall pass. Because what the devil meant for evil, God is going to turn it around for all the good in the world. Cool girl, sister, welcome, my love. You may feel like you're on top today, but you're going to be right back in the trenches where you first started. Climbing on other people's back. It's only going to last so long and no more. Look at my beautiful sister, Nye. Hey, boo. Too many young girls are taught that love is supposed to hurt a little. Too many mothers tell their daughters, just stick it out, he'll change. What the hell? And too many men, too many, men in this world. Sis, Sean, thank you, sis, for that. And you're absolutely right, sister. Sometimes they're laughing at you, not with you. But sis, them that think they're laughing at you, right? They get the laugh today, but who gets the last laugh? Who gets the last laugh? And that's the part they fail to understand. And these men today, too many of them were never shown love without dominance. I need y'all to really hear me right now, because love should never require you to lose yourself. Because if love, whether it's in relationships or friendships, situationships, or those fake ass sisterhoods, if it costs you your peace, Mocha's here to tell you today, you should never lose yourself in love. If it costs you your peace, y'all, that shit is too expensive, because peace is priceless. Now here for Mocha is where it hits harder. Elajia tried to leave. She even filed those protective orders. She did everything she could to create distance from herself, or create distance between her and his man. And yet, like so many others, she wasn't protected when it mattered most. Why should I file a protective order if y'all don't see it through? There were warnings. This young man had already been violent before. There were police reports, but paper don't stop a bullet. And orders, protective orders, definitely don't stop obsession. And I'm going to say this part with love. We have to stop waiting on the system to save our women and children. We have to be the village all over again. If you see a woman shrinking, isolating, or constantly explaining bruises, constantly explaining emotional or physical pain, please say something. Don't let silence be the accomplice. And if y'all following me right now, I need y'all to put in that chat hashtag protect her. Protect her. Because we need to normalize showing up for women who are too scared to call for help. We have to do better. You know, family, it's a time it's time that we sit and redefine what love looks like in our community. Because when protection turns into possession, it's no longer love, it's bondage. And nobody deserves to die trying to earn peace. Nobody. I'm gonna grab some of these comments before I move on. Big Mama said that's true. I've been there and didn't even know it. Wow, manipulation. Thank you, Sister Kristen. Sometimes people confuse love for control and control for love. That part. Kristen says, a strong woman who can stand on her own can threaten another. Says, that part, that part, that part, that part. It's the manipulation for me. It's the mind games for me. And my thing is, as grown adults who still lives in that energy, don't nobody live like that other than a con artist, other than those that still out there to play these games, other than those that still out there to manipulate the system. Ain't used to shit, ain't never had shit. All they've known all their life was conning people. So what works best for them is manipulation. I don't have it. I don't know how to get it. I can't stand in their shoes. I don't have what they have, which is the gift of God. They got the gift of God, but I'm sitting up here manipulating, scheming and scamming, and I'm working with the gift of gab. Make it make sense. And said, I've been there in my past, but I learned I can do better on my own. Thank you, Jesus. And when we get to that part, and of learning that we could be who we're supposed to be on our own, baby, God is going to level us up. And says manipulation messes with your heart and your brain. Sometimes it's hard to get over. And you know, and manipulation sometimes puts you in a place where it makes you feel like that manipulation that they're doing can define you. Nah, you can't define me with your manipulation. People gonna figure out exactly who you are at some point, because the devil is a liar. Rock says abusers' first step is to always isolate them from the family, and that's facts. And that's facts, sis. That's facts. I believe it with all my heart. Terrific says, love you more than you love you. You better, girl, you better love you unconditionally, because nobody could never love me more than I love me. Never. And said, that's the reason why I divorced my ex-husband. Some needs to stay an ex for a reason. They wasn't raised right, Ann. They weren't raised, Sister Platt, hey, sis. They wasn't raised right. And we have to call it for what it is. We cannot save those that don't want to be saved. And we can't call everybody our friend. We can't call everybody sister either, because everybody don't earn the right to sit in the same shoes nor the same space that we're in, because that sister, that sis, that hey, that's manipulation. That's mind control. That's trying to see where you are to get where you are and take what you got. And you better believe it. And if nobody never told it to you, you could say you heard it at Moca tonight. I lived it. I never, in all the years of my life, in all the years of my life, I never experienced what really exists. The manipulation, the way manipulation is tricked out in these YouTube streets. This is sad. for grown people. Big Mama says, girl, you hitting all the nails on the head. My ex-husband was a minister and got $20,000 worth of American Express cards in my name, took money from my accounts. I divorced him. I feel he preyed on me. Looking back, Mama, that's what he done. But you didn't know no better. You didn't know no better, sis, because you saw love. You saw love. And it's like you see love and you see people being genuine, or so you think, because you want to see people in the same lens that you see yourself. And it's a shame that we have to get hurt. We have to get abused. We have to be misused. We have to get all of that to understand that these people are not cut from the same cloth as we are. They're users. They're users. Terrific said he was jealous of her because he didn't have nothing. Not compared to where she was going. And she was going up. And you see, when people see that you're elevating, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to see that. They want a piece of the party. They want to be a part of the party, and they want a piece of the pie. And it's easy to get a piece of the pie. But you have to get a piece of the pie the right way. We don't do cutthroats. We don't do backstabbing. We don't walk on one another to get where we want and then feel like it's okay to sit over there like you did it. No, you didn't. And said bottom feeders, like crab in a barrel trying to drag you down. That part. But God, though, and because he has the final say so in everything. And if you stick around long enough, you're going to see just what he's able to do. Beautiful soul, that part. What you don't see, God sees, and he does. And baby, he's going to reward you for your efforts, your hard work. And those that thought they were getting over, and those that they thought they did the big one, right? Those who thought they did the big one, he's going to not just sit them down, he's going to lay them down. That's what's going to happen. My beautiful sis, Marty, said, bullies, isolators. Hey, Tanya, welcome, sis. Manipulators, abusers. They take your confidence stamp. They take your confidence stamp and they crush you, say nobody wants you. It's their own shortfalls they put on you and themselves. Oh, yes, Marty. That part, boo. They could never. And say the fake smile in your face, but trying to stick that knife in your back all the time. Sassy said love is everything. He did not give her. Dolores said love should never allow you to bow down to any man. Big Mama says they tell us to pray through it, but through that cheating and stealing, no, we can't stay in it. I felt like I lost myself. I felt depleted and empty. And that's what it does to you, Big Mama. That's what it does. Marty said, once that hand is raised. Hello, Marty. Marty said, once that hand is raised, you better, Wendy, welcome to the chat, my love. Marty said, once that hand is raised, you better run like your life depends on it. Because it does. That hand ain't going to stop raising up on you. It comes faster and more furious. Love is blind, but don't make it turn you deaf to hear. Marty, that's the word. So here in this story, we've seen the red flags, we've seen the pain, but next we have to face the day everything came crashing down. We're going to talk about, or we're just going to take a walk through, should I say, through the day that it actually happened. How this tragedy unfolded in that parking lot and what it says about how fast domestic violence escalates once someone decides to leave. Guys, make sure you're pushing that like button. Make sure you're hitting the emojis on the side. Let them know that we're alive so we could get out there. So these stories can be heard, you guys. We need to shine a light on what's going on. We need to do what we need to do. So many people need to hear this because Elajia, Elajia deserved more, so much more. Now let's talk about the abuser. Let's talk about the abuser. Young man, 23 years old. His name, Caprice Hudson. And I'm saying his name because I'm not sitting up here trying to glorify at all. I'm saying his name because he deserved exposure. Because young man, at the age of 23, Moca's gonna say you weren't raised right. The only way to break these cycles is to drag the darkness into the light. Caprice wasn't a stranger who jumped out the bushes. 23-year-old Caprice was somebody that Elajia once trusted. Somebody she loved enough to believe in until love turned into control. Police says that after he shot her outside of her job, he ran. He ran. This young lady went to work, clocked in, put in a whole day's work, going to her car after a shift, broad daylight. 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, broad daylight, he pulls up on her and unloads. Real broad daylight. And he's a coward. You want to control, manipulate, and mind screw this young lady. You took her life in broad daylight, in front of her place of employment with bystanders looking. And you decide to run. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, baby. Then you decide to run. You got in your car, you sped off. Then the police tracked him all the way in Columbia County. They tried to stop his car. Then they did a pit maneuver. But by the time they arrested him, it was a little too late. Let's talk about the coward in him. It was a little too late. We could talk about the coward in him for a second, y'all. That very same weapon that he used to take Elajia's life, the coward in him used that very weapon to take his own life. And that's what abusers do when they feel like they've lost control. They destroy everything. Everything. And eventually, they destroy themselves. And I want y'all to listen to this part real close. Because months before that day, there had already been signs. There was another previous incident where he played with a weapon against her right outside of that same workplace after a minor car incident. 23 years old and already playing with weapons during an argument. That was the first warning. That was the first warning. And if y'all with me tonight, drop some purple hearts in this chat. If y'all have been in situations or seen situations where anger came out early, y'all saw the yelling, y'all saw the threats. Y'all saw the way that people twisted love into leverage. This is real life. And until we bring awareness to how people are manipulated, manipulation will continue controlling the situation. Elajia did what survivors are told to do. Elajia filed for protective orders. Thank you all so very much for the purple hearts. She filed for protective orders. Young Elajia tried to leave. But once again, papers don't stop bullets and restraining orders don't restrain obsession. It's the same story that we keep seeing over and over and over again. He wanted ownership. He didn't want no partnership. How the hell you go on through life thinking you could own somebody when your own parents didn't own you? Because clearly, if your parents had taken control and hurricane, welcome, my love. If your parents owned you and shown you the right way, guided you the right path, we wouldn't be here today. He saw her life. He saw her future. And instead of celebrating it, see, that's where jealousy kicks in, because everybody that claims to be happy for you ain't happy for you. They want part of what you got. They don't want to know how you got there. They don't want to sit there and allow you to show them the way. They instantly want it. And they don't care what they do or what they got to do to take it. See, abusers like this young man, like this monster that he was, they thrive on control. And it's so unfortunate and sad, because the type of abuser that he was, that thrived on control, there are many abusers that disguise who they are the very same way he did. Control is a hell of a drug. Wanting to control the next, wanting to control the narrative, wanting to control everything about somebody is dangerous. And we see it every day that we log into YouTube. Mm. He controlled who she talked to, where she was going, how long she was gone, who she smiled at. They confuse obedience with affection. Ain't no man is going to tell me to be obedient, bitch. I'm not a dog. I'm not a dog. How many of y'all seen that? You get a phone call from a man that you supposedly in a relationship, he's claiming to love you. Hey, where you at? What you mean? What do you mean? Where am I? At some point, it may sound like a little care until it turns into, this is where it gets, this is the part that gets me. Well, why you ain't answer the phone? Well, God damn it, my mama don't question me like that. Why I ain't answer the phone? Hey, hello? Who paid his bill? Me or you? Me or you? Who pays this bill? So when they start asking things like that, where you at? I've been calling. You ain't never answered. So what you got up your sleeve? You want me to answer so you can see where I am, and that'll determine how you move doing what you do. What? That's how it starts, y'all. Little comments, little criticism, little confinements. The saddest part, though, cool girl, sister, hey, my love. The saddest part, the system already knew his name. He had pending charges, a $20,000 bond, orders. He wasn't supposed to be in possession of a weapon. Yet somehow he still had access. So we have to ask. We have to ask. Who enforced those orders? Who checked in on him? Who made sure that paper meant something? Because when systems fail, women lose their lives. And then the same headline pops up. Tragic domestic violence incident. Now, y'all, it's not just tragic. We have to know that at some point this has to be preventable. And by this coward choosing death by suicide, it don't close the book. It proves the point that that kind of rage, that kind of an ego always end in destruction. Hello, somebody. See, warnings comes before destruction, and some people are not mentally equipped to recognize the signs. I want control so bad I'm willing to do whatever. I'll shit on anybody for control. I'll do whatever it takes for me to control the situation and to control the narrative. I'm going to do all of that, but you're missing all the warnings. And God said it in his word that warnings comes before destruction. Get ready, YouTube, because destruction is coming. It may not be today, may not even be tomorrow. But control and manipulation is going to bring destruction in a way that nobody never seen it or even thought of it coming. See, that kind of rage, that kind of ego, again, always ends in destruction. And you see us as adults, mature adults. When I say mature, that's what I mean. See, we recognize the foolery. And what's really sad is out here in these YouTube streets, it keep repeating itself with new lies, new shade, just different clothes. New victims. And baby, what we have to do as mature adults is know the signs. Because it ain't just about him, as I said, it's everywhere. And women are worse at it than men. Being manipulators, liars, wanting control, and wanting to control everything except for the life that they live. So if you're following me at this moment, I want you all to type in that chat, hashtag know the signs. Hashtag know the signs, because if we could spot them sooner, we could save somebody before the next. You know, there are many Caprice Hudsons walking out here, smiling. Like I said, Caprice Hudson, we got women Caprices out here. They ain't playing with weapons that got bullets. They have those invisible knives that stabs you in the back. They have on those hoods. They have on those masks. Y'all see the masks? Many of them walking around here now, smiling, posting motivational quotes, talking shit, but tearing somebody down in private. Take care, Miss Antoinette. Love you, girl. Hey, Leanne, welcome, sis. Tearing somebody down in private, and we keep excusing it as mental illness, as a temper, as stress, or that's just how they are. I'll be damned, because we got to start naming it when we see it. As long as we keep saying that's just how they are, and going back for more, and watching it unfold, and excusing it, that means we're a part of the problem too, because now you're engaging with the buffoonery. We sit up here and we see who Caprice was. We saw the obsession. We saw the control. We saw the system that let him slip through the cracks. But next we're going to talk about what unfolded in that parking lot, and how every minute of that day shows us why silence is deadly. And this happened to this young lady on a Friday. She done worked a full week, poor baby. It was an ordinary day for this young lady until it wasn't anymore. I don't know if any of you, hey, Deborah Crosby, welcome, my love. I don't know if any of you know where BioLife Plasma Service Center is. off of Pleasant Hill Road in Georgia, Duluth, Georgia. But they say people were moving through that parking lot. It was crowded. People headed home, people laughing, people living. In the middle of all of that everyday life, this monster showed up. And I would never say that this was a crime of passion. See, we have to be careful how we label certain things, because this was far from being a crime of passion. This was premeditated possession. He went there to end not only her peace, he went there to make a statement. 21 years old. Beautiful Elajia Whitley gone instantly. This didn't just, and the sad part is, this didn't happen in the dark of night. It happened in daylight, in the public, outside in the workplace, the same place she was trying to make an honest living. So people today just don't care about human beings. Think about it. How many of our sisters never even make it home from work because of somebody who couldn't take no for an answer? This beautiful young lady, her family, I love the things that her family is saying at this moment. Her family said that she went to them and she told them that she wanted to move on. Listen to this. Not only did she tell her family that she wanted to move on, y'all, she told her family that she was done being afraid. She was tired of being afraid. She had enough. And the sad reality in this is, too many of our women, when they feel that they've had enough and they're walking away, that moment of freedom, that they feel they're gaining by walking away, it becomes that moment of finality. Because everybody can't take no. And here it is, while the world is grieving beautiful little Elajia. The world was grieving beautiful 21-year-old Elajia. This coward, he was big, bold, bad bully. He was going to take love. He was going to steal love. It was a love he was going to steal control. But then you try to outrun the truth. When you shot that girl and couldn't stand there to face the consequences of your action, and you tried to outrun the police, tried to outrun your truth. Harmony, my sister, hey, boo, welcome. He couldn't control nothing no more. Not even himself. Chaos. Couldn't control himself in chaos. He couldn't control the cowardness in him. And he couldn't even control whether he was going to live or die. Hey, Patrima, welcome, boo. This right here, y'all, to me, it ain't just a crime scene. It's symptoms symptoms of a sickness that our community keeps sweeping under the rug. And this sits heavy with me. Every story that I does weigh heavily on me. Look at my beautiful sister Storm. Hey sister, how are you, my love? Hope all is well. And if you're with me right now, and if your heart is as heavy as mine, come on ladies, drop me some more purple hearts in this chat, because we need to talk about it. See, we're too busy saying, mind your business. We're too busy saying, mind your business, when somebody's dying inside their silence. Because we want to sit up here and say things like, well, that's between them. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't interfere in people's relationship. That's between them. And then D the Virgo, hey boo. But we say it's between them, y'all, until it's too late to intervene. Then you're sitting up there with the woulda, coulda, and shouldas. It's too late for that. And I want y'all to know something. Domestic violence don't always happen behind closed doors. Sometimes it unfolds right in front of us and we still look away. We all may be guilty of this. We all may be guilty of wishing we could have spoke up sooner. We all may have witnessed something at a point that we felt we could have intervened. And if you've been there, knowing you could have stopped something from happening before it happened, type in the chat, hashtag never again. And to every survivor that's watching tonight, if you ever felt unsafe leaving, I need you to hear me. Sweetheart, you're not crazy. And you're definitely not alone. Because leaving is the most dangerous step, but is also one of the most bravest. I keep thinking about that parking lot. I keep thinking about all the people that were out there, not knowing that they were truly witnessing the final chapter of this young girl's fight for freedom. And it makes me realize that safety shouldn't depend on luck. It should depend on love. The kind of love that says, I see you before it's too late. See, and now it don't end there, because we have to ask the hard questions. How the hell did the system let this happen? Who was supposed to step in? Who? The paper trail, the protective orders, and why so women lose their life holding documents that were supposed to protect them. How? Storm, thank you, boo. Just launched my youth workbook and entered into the honors program. Work, work, work. Thank you, boo, and congratulations, mama. Again, it's time to ask the hard, uncomfortable question. How did the system fail her? Because y'all, let's make no mistake about it. This was not just a moment of rage. This was a buildup of ignored warnings and unanswered cries and broken promises. Elajia, beautiful Elajia, did everything the system tells victims to do. This beautiful young lady, she filed protective orders. She distanced herself from him. She even told people that she was done being afraid. But yet, here we are. So she did everything right. Another young black woman taken from her family, taken from her community, taken from her dreams, even after doing everything right. See, that's not the problem. That's definitely not the problem. The system is reactive, not protective. It waits until blood is spilled to respond. We've seen it over and over and over again through all these stories we've covered. The system wants to show up when it's just a little too late. The police knew this young man's history. He'd already faced all these charges. The court knew he wasn't supposed to be in possession of a weapon, but yet he had one. Somebody didn't check, y'all. Somebody didn't follow up and somebody didn't enforce. How many times do we have to keep coming out here, hearing the same line? He wasn't supposed to have a weapon. I'm so tired of paperwork that don't protect people. These so-called protection orders often get enforced too late. Hey, Lisa, welcome, boo. Because what a lot of people don't realize is that piece of paper, I'll say it again, it can't stop a bullet. It can't block a fist. And it cannot change a man's mind. That mind is already made up to unalive you. The protective order is a start, but it damn sure ain't the solution. And we got to be real about it all. See, when it comes to black women, the system, all of them, they move even slower. Let's call it what the hell it is. Reports get buried. Calls get brushed off, and too often they want to blame the victims for staying. No, we're not going to do that. See, what people don't understand is that she wasn't staying. Elajia was not staying because she didn't want to leave. Oh, Lord Jesus, help me. This young lady was not staying because she wanted to leave, y'all, or because she didn't want to leave. This young lady was staying because she was planning. Y'all hear that key word? She stayed as long as she did because this beautiful baby was planning to survive. She had to stay in order to see her plan through. She wanted to live. But the monster saw it different. See, and that's the part that society forgets. Leaving an abuser. It ain't easy to just walk away from an abuser. Leaving an abuser ain't just walking out the door, it's walking through danger. Because an abuser whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, manipulation, whatever it may be. Anytime you confront an abuser for their behavior that you're no longer willing to tolerate, you may think you're walking out the door. You may think that you're going to ignore them. You may think you don't want to be bothered with them no more. You may think you just want to go on with your life and leave them right where you found them. You may think, let them do them and I'm going to do me. That's what you're thinking, right? You feel like I'm going to walk away. But that's not what's really going on. You're thinking you're walking away. But actually what you're doing is walking through danger, because an abuser always sitting in the back looking like a Jekyll and plotting. They're plotting. So instead of you feeling like you just walking through the door, the abuser looking at you and like, I got you. You're coming straight to danger. Because my mindset and your mindset ain't the same mindsets. And our Black women are walking through that danger with no backup, with no protection, and no real safety net. And as a community, we have to do better. Not just for Black women, but for all women. We have to do better to educate and show them you're not alone. So if you feel me right now, and we're all in the same ballpark, I want to see you type hashtag protect Black women in the chat. Because that's where the work begins. Accountability, enforcement, and community intervention. Hashtag protect Black women. We're losing them, y'all. Children are without mothers at a very young age. Mothers are burying their daughters at a very young age. This is not what life is supposed to be. But we're seeing it over and over and over again, and we need to do better. We need laws that enforce weapon removal when protective orders are filed. We need tracking systems that flag repeat offenders. And we need training for officers to recognize the patterns before it becomes fatal. But beyond all that I suggest we need us. We need us, because the system can't love our women the way that we can. I can't see the pain behind that forced smile. The system can't see that. The system, hey, Rhapsody, welcome, sis. The system can't see the fear behind the silence. But because we've seen it so often, we can recognize it. So the next time you hear your sister whisper, I think he might hurt me, please don't tell her to calm down. Please don't tell her to calm down. As her sister, tell her, come home. She's crying for help. Don't tell her to calm down. I don't care if you have to take her home and y'all all sleep on the floor. She's protected. The next time your neighbor calls the police and they don't show up, we need to show up. We might not be able to save everybody. Thank you, Sister Rock. We may not be able, y'all, to save everybody. but we can damn sure save somebody. We could save somebody. And if you feel in this message tonight, and if you feel that this message could save somebody, tag somebody. Tag somebody who needs to hear this message tonight, because awareness saves lives. I keep thinking about how many times we say rest in peace. Why can't we sometimes say live in safety? We light candles after the fact, but we rarely fight for protection before the fact. Elajia's story and so many other stories alike. Hey, Avis, welcome, my love. That should be the last warning we ever need, but we know it won't be, not until we start demanding accountability from the top down. Now, we've honored Elajia. We've told her story. We've exposed the failure. But this is where we as a community, we rise. We're gonna move this over from pain to purpose. We're gonna talk about how to turn this heartbreak into hope for survivors, for families, and for the next generations who deserve to live without fear. We've walked through the laughter, through the light, the warning signs, the heartbreak, and the failures. Said her name, Elajia Whitley. We told her truth, not just how she died, also how she lived. And now it's time to take what we've heard and turn it into some type of action. Because y'all, every time we say, y'all, that this has to stop, it's easy to say it has to stop, but why say it has to stop, but yet you remain quiet? All you're doing is allowing this cycle to keep spinning. Every time we scroll past another story, we look at the story, we hear it, then we're saying, this is so sad. But we do nothing. Another sister slips through the cracks. And I know that we can't save everybody. But if every one of us saves just one, if we could focus on just helping one, saving one, then the world starts to change. Maybe that one is your friend who's isolating herself. Maybe that one is your niece who boyfriend calls too much, aggravating the piss out of her, wanting to know where she's at and where she's going and things like that. She can't stay on the job all day long for answering the phone. And maybe that one is you, quietly praying for a way out. I need you all to hear me right now. You are not alone. The fear is valid, but your survival matters the most. Your survival matters the most. And if you're watching this tonight and you're living in that kind of storm, I need you to make a plan. I need you to hear me loud and clear and get ready to make a plan, because I don't want you to make that plan tomorrow. I don't want you to make that plan the day after tomorrow. I need you to make that plan now. The time is now. If you're living in that type of storm, I need you to reach out to the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Call 1-800-799-SAFE. They'll help you find a shelter. They'll help you find a safe house. They'll help you find an advocate. You can also text the word START, START. Text the word START to 88788 if you can't speak out loud. And if anyone is in Georgia at this moment, reach out to Safe House Outreach, the Women's Resource Center, Partnership Against Domestic Violence. They're all waiting for you tonight. I need y'all to drop those purple hearts one more time. If you believe somebody watching needs this as a reminder, because that's what this domestic violence edition is all about. Turning awareness into accountability and pain into purpose. I want every survivor watching to type this in the chat with me. Thank you, Lord. I'm still here. If you are a survivor and you're riding this wave with me tonight, I need you to type, I am still here. The reason I ask that is because your survival is proof that healing is possible. Your story is somebody else's survival guide. To Elajia's family, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for allowing the world to know her name. To Elajia's family, you turned tragedy into testimony. And tonight, we honor that life. Love should not hurt, y'all. Silence take lives. And together, we're going to protect our own. We spoke her name. And we want justice for Elajia. We're going to continue bringing domestic awareness. And here is purpose over popularity all day long. Over here, clout we don't chase. Hey, Samantha, welcome, my love. But we do our damnness to chase change. And as long as I'm able and you're here, we're going to keep saying their names. We're going to keep saying their names. I think about how Elijah's story might just be the reason another woman decides to leave tonight. And if this happens, if one life gets saved because of this conversation, then her light didn't die, it multiplied. Elajia, beautiful, vibrant, had it all. And says if they hit you once, they'll continue to think it's cool to do this. And it's not okay. Damn sure ain't. Big Mama says, I choose to be single now. I can't live in that kind of bondage again. No, because you lose self. You lose yourself. Antoinette said sometimes mind games are worse than ass whippings, and that's a fact. That's a fact. Kristen says, I can't stand mind games. Or when someone wants to play the stupid game, we have no time for it, and that we don't. Big Mama says, it's hard. And it took me 8 years to get him out of my system. It was like a drug. Never again. Thank God for you, Big Mama. Thank God you are here. Thank God. And it was nothing but the grace of God that got you through. Essie said, some women think it's cute when a man is jealous. It's deadly coming from a control freak, that part. Good night, Sassy. Thank you so much, beautiful. Love you. That part. And I'm so happy for you, Big Mama. Beautiful Soul said, everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. Don't wait on no one to tell you that you're beautiful. Know that that's right. Know that you are. That self-worth means everything. That self-worth means everything. And if you lose that, you've given them control at the gate. Ms. Antoinette said, oh Lord, Ms. Antoinette said they are actors and actresses. They could win Academy Awards, that part. Big Mama said, I'm a giver and a giver of my last. Now I tell people they have to figure out their life. I'll give you resources and I don't feel bad about it. Big Mama, once you've been burnt, once you've been hurt, once you've been through the mud and back, Big Mama, you're careful how you move. And I feel where you are, sis. I feel it. Ann says, I couldn't keep dealing with the controlling man when I had a hard time getting away from my controlling mother. And neither really showed me real love. It hits hard on all sides sometimes. And that's the unfortunate part. But God, He gives you everything that He promised. And all you got to do is give it to Him. And you won't be short of nothing. And that's the beauty of knowing and trusting and believing that He's going to do everything that He said He would. Because God is not a God that lies. Sister Sean said, and these babies aren't living long enough to look back and think, damn, how simple-minded I was. And that's a sad truth. And you're right, sis. They're taking them out early, early. And like I said, these stories, they're not getting any easier. But we got to stay prayed up. Got to stay. Carla Henry said, like that song, if I have to go through this, I'd rather be by myself. You better know it, Carla Henry, because ain't no better satisfaction in knowing you're going to bed by yourself, you're waking up by yourself, and you're not in fear. You don't have to answer to nobody controlling you or monitoring how you move, what you do, what you wear, or how you look like, who you're on the phone with. I wish. Sean says, Eve said, if love is blind, I'll take over your mind. What you think is love is truly not. You need to elevate it and find, oh, I love that song, girl. I love it. And said, this is the reason why this woman was trying to get away from this loser dude. Yeah, he was a monster. He was a monster. He was a monster. And tonight, Ann said, I never gave a man a second chance. If it didn't work out, it couldn't be fixed for me. And that's the thing we need to understand as adults. As grown women, we need to understand we can't fix. We can't fix grown people. They come to you already tore up. And what could we do with that? My beautiful sister Samantha says, I've been through it. I stayed in it because I promised God if I had children, I would make sure the Father was in their life. When I went to church, my eyes were open and I asked God to give me a way out. And He did. And I made a promise that I'll never go back, and I didn't. Look at you, Samantha. Look at you. You didn't do it blindly, sis. You had a purpose. One thing about it, you gave it to God before you made a decision. And you allowed God to order your steps. And that is when things change. And that's when your will to lead, your will to do certain things, that's when it gets easier. But guys, I appreciate those that supported the channel tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you every night for supporting the mission, right? Because we don't need thousands to make things happen. We need just what God gave us. Authentic people, genuine people, people with a heart, right? People that truly care. That's not here to exploit, not here to mimic, not here to shame a victim. I live by, if I can't help, if I can help somebody along the way, my living will not be in vain. And I wake up to that every day. I wake to that every day. And that's how I live my life every day. I don't walk out of these doors feeling I'm better than the next person. I don't walk out these doors and walk on a person and with my nose in the air feeling like I can't speak. Because what we as humans fail to realize, the very same thing that made you laugh today is going to be the very same thing that makes you cry tomorrow. And that's the attitude. That's the funky behaviors. That's the mind control, the manipulation, and the cowardly games you play with people. My girl Lisa said, I'm 61 and 4'9". Never will let a man hit me. He'll hell even push me. My son's nephew, male, cousin, brothers coming for you. You understand, Lisa? Do you understand? Because you'll never get a chance to tell nobody else that you put your hands on me. Beautiful soul, that part. You can't raise a man. Because most of the time, if you look at the men today, they come from broken ass homes. Mamas out there doing their thing at the age that they are. Mamas out there still in the streets, trying to keep up with our grown children. Ain't raised them the right way, taught them no values. No, they have no morals. And that's why it's easy for them to connect with women that have no values and no morals, and they on that stupid shit right along with them. But then when they run across a woman that has ambition, that has goals, that has morals, they don't know what to do with it. And I don't want to keep saying it's control that they're trying to have. I think it's a lot of fear in the ass. I think they're scared that they're going to look less than because they have a strong woman. I feel they're going to feel less than, or they're going to look a certain way to their peers if they have a woman that's elevated all the way, mentally, emotionally, physically. And that's going to make them look some type of way. But neither here nor there. We're going to keep coming out here. You're absolutely right. And men are intimidated by a positive woman. And that's why, and when you see men and women with the same nasty ass behavior, the same piss poor demeanor towards people, they're two of the same kind. And they deserve one another. Because neither one of them were raised right. And then they start playing these mind games, trying to control the narratives. We're too old for that. We're too mature for that. And that's not the life that we should be living. When we've lived and we've been blessed to go through things in life, experience things in life, experience coming from a loving, caring home by caring parents that worked hard to provide the best of everything. There's no way a nothing-ass man or a nothing-ass woman should come in our lives and try to capitalize off of that. We're not going to do this. We're not going to go after that. Ann says, Ann crazy. And you know what? I ain't raising nobody's son. Not me. Not me. Because if your mama didn't do it, it's too late in the game for me to think I could do it. And said some men want a substitute woman. They want a mama figure. I wish. I wish. But I'm like, terrific. Some of them hate their mama and take it out on women. And I could believe that. I could believe that. But good night, Essie. God bless you, baby. And I'm about to roll out of here too, guys. Let me tell you all something. These stories need to be held. They need to be told. Because too much is going on. And we are losing our sisters too early. We are. And we shouldn't have to. We shouldn't have to. So guys, I want you all to stay tuned in. Keep those notification bells on so you can be alerted when we get live and come live again, which will be tomorrow, because these stories, some of them sit too close to home and we have to raise awareness. And before I close out tonight, once again, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to Elajia's family for sharing Elajia at only 21 short years, sharing her with the world where she could have brought so much light and so much hope. Thank you for sharing her with us. And know that your family is in our prayers. And we're going to keep advocating. We're going to keep lifting up her name. And we're going to just keep sharing these messages because we have to help somebody along the way. You're welcome, man. But we're here to do a job, y'all. When it's time for shits and giggles, we have that. But when it's time to be on our mission, we have to do what we've been assigned to do. There's a time and place for everything. And this is the time that we get it right. So I want to thank each and every one of you for being so faithful to not only the mission, but being faithful to what I've been assigned to do. Shout out to the replay gang. Thank each and every one of you for sharing this live stream. And I appreciate it so very much. Because for what the devil meant for Moca, God about to turn it around. It's about to turn it around. Share the live, guys. Let others tap in. Let me be that voice for the voiceless. I'm going to say good night. I'm going to say God bless you. And until next time. Yes, terrific. Yes, if you didn't hit that like button, please hit it on your way out. You're welcome, cool girl sister. Over here, it's purpose over popularity all day long. We don't want to be popular. We just want to serve our purpose and move on. We want to speak for those that can't speak for themselves. And as long as we got a mic and a heartbeat, You're going to keep saying their name. Good night, everyone. God bless. And we will continue to seek justice for all.
We stand tall, we rise as one. No bells, the work ain't done. No. Moca leading from the heart, never run. Truth and care in everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. Team full of truth and a chat full of cheer. Moca in the seat, steady steering the ship. Every topic got depth, every comment got grip. We don't tear folks down, we just build them up. If you're moving off love, then you one of us. Know the pride in the room and the vibe so loud. Every bell in the check gon' rep that crowd. We stand tall, we rise as one. Know the bells, the work ain't done. Moca leading from the heart, never run. Truth and care in everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This is family. This is family. And we stand tall. Down in the north where the soul don't break. Moca built the lane where the real ones stay. Ain't no faking the funk, ain't no playing for clout. You bring that mess, we gon' sort that out. But this ain't about drama, it's about love. It's about healing, it's about trust. Every child, every voice, every name in the breeze. We gon' stand for the ones no one else gon' see. So we rise tall, we rise as one. Oh, no bells, the work ain't done. Moca leading from the heart, never run. Truth and care in everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This is family. This is family. And we stand tall. One mic, one tribe, one mission in mind. We protect what's right and we hold that line. It's the chat where the truth and the love collide. Where the voices don't hide and the pain gets light. We see you, we feel you, we fight for the cause. Every kid, every tear, we break down walls. When you hear that bell, that's the call to act. We family now, and that's just facts. We stand tall, we rise as one. We rise as one. Know the bells, the work ain't done. Moca leading from the heart, never run. Truth and care in everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This one's for every voice we fight for and every child who needs to be heard. We see you, we feel you. We stand with the truth. This is the Know Your Bells. Leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Stand tall with join the family.
Good night, everyone. God bless.